Okay, so this week we are talking about where we live. I don't exactly know what specifically that entails. I mean, are we talking about our house, our general region, our state, country? I'm not gonna show my house or my room because the entire place is kind of a shithole since my parents recently left for Hawaii and I've basically just kind of trashed the place in their absence. I'll clean it up before they get home. So, where do I live? I live in Michigan, and there isn't really a whole lot to say about Michigan. It's not a particularly interesting place. One thing I can say about Michigan is that we talk kind of weird sometimes. Some of us do. Some of us have a pretty strong accent, what with the vowel shift and everything. We also have Detroit, which I've heard some people from out of state say that Detroit scares them. And honestly, the kind of people who say that sort of thing, they probably should be a little bit scared of Detroit. But for the most part, I think Detroit is a pretty cool city. I mean, clearly pictures of it make it look like an urban wasteland or just a post-apocalyptic, just ruins everywhere. But no, there are some parts of it that really have some problems, I'm gonna say. I mean, Detroit in general, Michigan in general, just has some huge financial issues that we need to resolve. But I'd say that Detroit is a city that's really working hard to improve itself. Previously, I lived in Ann Arbor on campus at the University of Michigan. It was alright. Ann Arbor is a really cool city. In the winter, it got so bitterly cold and walking into class is miserable. And Michigan is notorious for never giving out snow days or even cold days or ice days or anything. No days off for weather. So basically, I think since the school was founded, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was sometime in the late 19th century or something, we've had 3 snow days. One was in, like, the 40s or something, like 1945. One was, and there was a couple in the 70s. And, that's it. Those are the only 3 snow days that the University of Michigan has ever given out. And considering the kind of ridiculous weather that sometimes hits Ann Arbor, I consider it unjust, a little unfair, and I lived pretty far away from the buildings that I had to go to class to, so I was often the one, especially during icy days, I fell on my ass so many times. There was this pair of boots, and I loved them. I loved them so much, and they kept my feet nice and warm, but the soles of the boots weren't particularly good for ice and snow, so I wound up falling on my ass just all the time. And people laughed at me, but you know what? People also complimented me on my boots. And that's kind of what it takes. My room is a total shithole right now, but let's just get a panoramic view of it. Just side to side on my little tripod. Woo! Woo! Closet, dresser, wall. That's a door right there. Yeah, that's really it to my room.